chat to bridge the gaps of diversity and destroy ignorance before it destroys another life. They have a guest with me. My guest I've known for maybe like 13 years, would you say? Somewhere around there. We went to college together. And I know you're a super positive person, super career-driven individual. And I'm sure there's a lot more to you than that, so we definitely want to be able to have you on here to share your story. In the past, this is a long time ago, but it influenced me. You got people saying hello to you. I remember you telling me a story about going to someone's house at this event, and this is dude with dreadlocks, and it was a black guy, I guess, with dreadlocks, and you saw him at this house, and like just that impression, just that part of what is the word, representation, like contributed to maybe you seeing beyond what you've seen before you potential can be for someone that looks like you. I hope that I said that story well. I don't think so. So I would love for you to share with us more about your story. You kind of froze a little bit, so I'm going to keep talking. But yeah, I'm going to have my guest introduce himself once he becomes... Are you there? Okay. If you could, guest, please share with us your name. Yeah, introduce yourself to us.
Hey everybody. My name's DeJuan McCoy. I've been friends with LaQuisha for, was it 15 years now or something like that? Something like that, yeah. about 10.
Over 10 years, because I've been in California 10 years. You froze. Oh no, he's frozen. Is he frozen to you, Mom? Or just me?
That's been a journey.
You were frozen. Huh? You were frozen. I'm sorry. For me, you were frozen. So can you backtrack? All I heard the last year to say is how long we've known each other. Okay, go from there.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying that we've known each other for 10 plus years or something like that. We went to college together. She'd seen me on my journey out in Los Angeles, trying to further my career and things of that nature. And now I'm here in Canada. So yeah, it's been quite some time.
Yeah. How old are you? Just to catalog that for our conversation.
I am 32.
All right. Let me 32. See if I missed. So where are you from?
I am from St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised. Yeah.
I always have to joke with you because when I first met you, your here and there was so emphasized. It was very safe sounding. And now you have been filtered through Ohio and LA and now Canada. Yeah, your accent is crazy to know, like your accent changed so much.
Well, yeah. Well, I need to I had to learn to speak a lot clearer to people because they couldn't understand me. So,
yeah. To me.
But
I think it's.
But yeah, it's been quite a bit of growth, you know, especially like speaking in front of people too, right? You speak in front of people, like need to understand you and stuff. So that's why it's probably shift and change.
Yeah. I agree with you about that. But I don't know if you heard at the beginning. I was trying to share your story about that you told me a while ago now about the guy with the dreadlocks, this nice house. Do you remember that story?
The guy with the dreadlocks where? At
like a nice house or something back home.
Oh.
Like, and that to me was like a really good example of the power of representation, or the power of seeing someone you doing well. How did that affect you? And can you share the story better than I did?
All right. So, growing up in St. Louis, it's a tough city. Like I grew up in like a decent neighborhood, but it's like the city in general is just tough. There's a lot of things that could mislead you down the wrong path or whatever. But there was this time I went to I believe a party. It was some gathering, small gathering, whatever, with a girl I was dating at the time, and she was surrounded by all these like positive type of successful type of mentors, and I just remember going to this party and seeing like this guy. He was like a lawyer, and he had dreadlocks and stuff, so he wasn't ashamed of like having his hair the way it was, and he was in a professional field, and he had a nice house. He had a well done like downstairs and everything, and they were all very positive and stuff. And I was telling LaQuisha, like, if I had never witnessed that as that in my youth, I probably wouldn't have thought much that there was much there for me in the future. So role models are important. I mean, even if it's like somebody you don't really even know, like even if it's just like somebody that's doing well that looks like you, or that could put a big huge impact in you, and it just made me think like, yeah, I want to be able to have those things too. I want to be able to be of that status or whatnot. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that with us, and I'm glad that you got to see that example, because we probably wouldn't be friends, right? Because you might not have taken the path that you took post that encounter. And let me see. I want to make sure I don't miss anything for my transition. There's so many things to ask. Like, so just so you guys know, DeJuan is like a super interesting person. Just he does so many different things. So I know that you do. Okay, we got a fist here. Okay, thank you, Adrian. I know that you do music too, right? So like your name is on here. Where's that come from?
Echo Music Man comes from my early days when I used to do a lot of music. A lot of people don't know this. They've had a theory that I do music or whatnot. But it comes from back in high school. I mean, in school in general, like I've always went to a visual performing arts high school. I've always been in the arts, right? So I've maintained and grabbed that name through the days of doing music, things of that nature. I've played clarinet. I've played upright bass. I've played a little bit of piano. I can't say that I'm like fantastic at any of that stuff anymore. I've made programmed and made beats back in the past and stuff. It just used to be a thing that I was into. It was I was super into music at the time and stuff. I've made music with people and did that thing. But when I got more often to art and I went to college and stuff, I kind of focused more on the art side of things, because I felt that the music career and the music system is like 20% talent and the rest of it is business. And those things are way more harder to pursue. Like, even if you're actually good and you actually hone your craft and stuff, there's a really small percent chance that you'll actually get off into the music industry. And it changes every year or whatever. So,
Well, hopefully, love for music and you're still going musically. link for you. Let me see. I was going to bring up, when you were talking about role models, like I know you taught for a period of time. Do you feel like you've been able to be what that guy was for you to other men that look like you? Is it look like you?
I mean, I've had plenty of role models in the past, or whatnot, and like I've never like tried to act actively, like I've never tried to go and try to be exactly like those people who were to me. I just realized and acknowledged the fact that my very presence of me doing something or explaining something to somebody is like enough for them to, because you can't tell somebody to look up to you, right? They either gonna look up to you or they're not gonna look up to you. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go be a role model for this person. It's just like you just are, and you being a role model by doing what you have to do. So yeah.
I'm sure you have. You don't even know.
Sorry. One second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Interlude. All
right.
Make it up before they interlude. Okay, he's back. All right. So yeah, maybe you don't know that you inspire people, but I'm sure you have. So that's cool. And what brought you out to LA, and how'd you end up in Canada? Canada. Where are you in Canada? I keep forgetting.
I am in Montreal. It's more east. It's the French speaking province. So there's the second language here is actually English. Like in the States, how Spanish is like the second language. Well, in French, English is in Montreal, English is the second language. So everything's predominantly French, but they do speak a lot of bilinguals. I actually should know more French than I actually do right now, but because they speak so much English up here, I've been lazy and I have not picked up as much words as I'm supposed to. So
yeah,
but yeah, so it's a different culture up here. It's different.
Yeah. So, how did you end up in LA from Columbus, Ohio, and how did you end up in Montreal or Canada if you were somewhere else first?
Okay. Well, long story. But basically so after being in Columbus, Ohio for a while, I had saved up money and moved out to, I think LA was like $2,000 or something like that. I didn't have too much money or whatever. LA's expensive. I remember actually LaQuisha was the first person to pick me up and drop me off at like my place. So I really appreciate that.
I bet you got stories for that place that you were
yeah.
you were living at. Man, it was some weird stuff in LA, man. Everybody does.
It was so sketchy, and I'll tell you about that place. That place. So when I moved there, that place was sort of like a hostile situation, right? I didn't know this at the time because I just thought it was like somebody renting out a room, but it was actually like a hostile situation, and you would pay, I think, month by month or whatever, like no lease or something like that. And I moved in, and there were all these people there, which some of these people I know, like still to today. But there was some weird people in there. And I was in this place, and there were like 6 people to like a room or something. They're like bunk beds. Nobody stayed in the house. They were just like there to sleep or something like that. And
yeah,
I moved into that place, and I was just trying to I was like, oh, well, as long as I can get a place to stay and sleep at night or something in LA, I can find me a better place. And I think I stayed there for like a month or whatever. And actually, again, LaQuisha invited me to a baby shower, and I ended up meeting some guy there. And if anybody that doesn't know, I was in pursuit of doing like visual effects and animation or whatever. That was my goal to moving to Los Angeles. That's where movies are made. That's where everything is. So I moved there. So, but I ran into this guy, and he like offered me an internship. So I had got an internship there, 2 weeks of being in Los Angeles, and all going to a baby shower. So thanks, LaQuisha.
That's awesome.
But
right? They were like making Call of Duty there and stuff, right? Where that
the place.
Yeah, they were like making Call of Duty and stuff, right?
So the guy you introduced me to, he was working on video games, but he introduced me to another guy who was working on VFX stuff, and they were doing commercials and stuff at the time. The name of the studio was called Ingenuity Engine, I believe, and they did like a bunch of different commercials and things of that nature. And they gave me, of course, they gave me an unpaid internship, but what
like
sorry?
Something. That's like what 2012 or whenever that period was like. Yeah. It's just everybody else. You can work here for free.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I ended up taking it, and of course, and who am I? I'm just like, I didn't have any professional experience, so that was my first, I guess, foot into the door. And then it's all about timing, right place and the right time. Just gotta be you gotta be in the right place in order for the timing to happen. And I was definitely there. So I like appreciate that. I'm very grateful for that. And those things eventually led to other things. I actually met up with other people who were like me, trying to pursue their goals and dreams in Los Angeles, or doing kind of in that same field, which actually was in the people I went to college with that I spoke to before, but I didn't hang out with like that. And we ended up becoming roommates and stuff, and like just kind of, I moved out of that hostile situation and more into a comfortable environment and stuff, and and end up really freelancing a lot in LA. And I freelanced so much in LA to the point where I started to get freelance jobs for like Fox Animation, and working on like little small Netflix shows and things like that. And those things just led to other things. So whatever you're doing, stay consistent at it. What's looking for you, what you're looking for is looking for you. So for sure.
Like it. You're a motivational speaker. I like talking to DeJuan, because I'll be lazy about my art and design. And DeJuan, though, you talk to DeJuan, you're like, what am I doing? And then you start picking up your craft again and getting it in, because DeJuan's working. You might as well start working. That's really cool. So I know, like, in the industry, there was a lot of like protests and stuff because they were shipping jobs out of the States. So is that how you ended up in Canada?
So I remember actually early on, I remember back in like Ohio when I was looking for a job out in Los Angeles, and I actually got a phone interview by a guy, and they wanted to hire me, but he told me that they were, well, if anybody doesn't know, they were basically taking jobs and moving them out of the country for cheaper to make Hollywood movies. So post-production jobs, VFX type of like special effects that you see and stuff on films. They were moving that stuff out of the country and stuff, and a lot of the jobs within the United States were struggling. And the guy who was talking to me over the phone, he said, "Oh well, I would hire you, but it's a lot of things going on." And by the time I graduated school, all that stuff was happening. So,
yeah.
What ended up happening is when I moved out of Los Angeles, I was able to find like jobs, but they were like TV show jobs. But I could never get a feature film like in the big screen type of, the movies and stuff like that. I could never find a job like that because all that stuff was being outsourced outside the country, and it was just being outsourced to Canada, which is cheaper. And I later found out that studios that were in the United States were just opening up studios in Canada. So they would be hiring and recruiting for people in the United States, but they would tell them, "Oh, but hey, can you like move to Canada? Like, all the veterans and stuff that like have been working in years, and they have like house mortgages and like kids and stuff like that. So they weren't really willing to like move out that way. So this opened up an opportunity for me, and I told LaQuisha this, like, man, I think I might have to move to Canada, for a while. And, next thing I know, I got a job working in Canada, working on some big films and stuff. So that's been a blessing. So
that's cool. I'm always proud of you for doing that. I mean, that's a huge step, but gotta do what you gotta do. Not lose your morals along the way, but do what you gotta do, And what are some of the films that you guys work on?
Some of the films I've got to work on was, let's see, there was a film called Underwater, Dumbo, the Nutcracker, Disney's Nutcracker. Let's see, Dr. Dolittle recently, Scooby-Doo recently. I'm pretty sure I missed X-Men. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some and stuff. I'm starting to lose count now, so which is a good thing.
That's a good problem.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool. I finally saw Dumbo like last week or something, and it was really nice. I thought it was gonna be dark. I couldn't take it or something, but actually, what'd you say?
Because it was Tim Burton, you thought it was going to be dark?
The way the commercial looked, it just looked dark. And probably like, yeah, Caroline, yeah. But yeah, no, I thought it was really well executed, and it wasn't dark like I thought. So I'm glad I watched it. So I think some stuff, I know we're coming down to, we've passed our 30 minutes. But let me make sure I don't have anything else to ask real quick. Technically, I have a lot here. You can't see it, but...
I'm sorry, I was talking too much.
No, it's good. It's good. Let me see. I'm going to do something for diversity, and then we'll move to the end. So, what are some stereotypes of Black men or African American men? I forgot to ask you how you identify. What is your ethnicity?
I identify as an African American man. For sure.
Thank you. What are some stereotypes of African American men that you don't fit or aren't true about you?
I mean, that's a lump of questions, because whatever stereotypes they always are bad stereotypes. So whatever I'm doing or whatever, I'm always changing that narrative. Or if a person meets me and talks to me and stuff, I'm always changing the narrative. I make them think twice about what they think they know about an African American, and that even goes for actually me. If people don't know, being in Montreal, there are quite a few people from Africa, but they're from different parts of Africa. So when I go and I talk to them and I tell them I'm from the States, I literally have to say African American, because if I just say I'm African descent, they're gonna say, oh, which part of Africa are you from? I'm like, well, I'm not from any part. I'm from the United States, so I have to be clear about that, and I have to kill a lot of stereotypes about Americans too, in that sense too, So, but yeah, I hope to answer your question. I didn't really answer the question.
You went around it, but I get the point. Is that you don't correct me if I'm wrong. You don't feel like you fit all the stereotypes.
Exactly.
With, but you're not necessarily going to say which one, and I respect that, because this is not to bash, but it is. I'm glad that you at least were able to say it some way. So I'm going to do my closing. If you have any closing remarks, please share it. And my mom said that she went to go see Dumbo with her grandson, and she was looking for your name in the credits. Okay.
Unfortunately, with the names with the credits and stuff, sometimes we don't always get our credits on the screen, but sometimes we do, because there's like so many people that work on the films that it becomes limited. But if you look me up, you Google my name, DeJuan McCoy, you'll find my credit right there on IMDb. So, but yeah. I probably didn't get it for that film, but it's probably on other different films I worked on. So that's just on the business side of it, unfortunately. But
a lot of people goes into making a film, especially all the computer generated special effects craziness that I can't tell what's reality and what's fake these days. But all right, so we want to thank everybody for joining us on Diversity Chat. Hope that you join us again on the next episode. We together diversity and destroy ignorance before it destroys another life. Thank you guys for all the comments and your love here, and thank you, DeJuan, for joining me today. And do you have any closing remarks, any considerations, any thoughts that we can get to? Go for it.
Yeah, I just want everybody I just want to tell them to consistency is key, and always follow your dreams. And as soon as you think that like it's not looking right, things start to shake together. You just gotta stay consistent about it, no matter what. So just keep at it. Whatever you're doing and whatever you want to do, whatever you like to do, just stay consistent at doing it every day. And what's looking for you, what you're looking for is looking for you. So yeah, that's my closing remark. So
nice. Cool. Well, thank you again. I'm gonna have to write that down. What you're looking for is looking for you. And we want to say have a good evening, everyone. Bless y'all. I know you're 3 hours ahead of me, DeJuan, so have a good night. Feel better. I'll see you guys around. See ya.